And the games are on. Here in the semifinal heat of the 100-meter dash, Movietone's camera catches the blinding speed of Jesse Owens, cracking the world record in the incredible time of 10 2/10 seconds.
The myth of Nazi Aryan supremacy was smashed to smithereens by the great non-Aryan athletes. Black athletes won the 100, the 200, the 400, the 800, the long jump, the high jump. It certainly proved that this Aryan business of supremacy was ridiculous. These were non-Aryans winning the most important events.
Seeing Jesse Owens, it was almost impossible not to cheer for him, because what you were witnessing was as close to perfection as you or anyone else would ever see. If Jesse Owens had gone to the games of the 11th Olympiad in 1936 in Berlin and had just won his 4 gold medals in those 4 events, the 100 meters, the 200 meters, the 4x100 meter relay, and the broad jump, it would have been one of the most spectacular achievements in the history of sports, and certainly in the history of the Olympic Games. To have done so as an African American in Hitler's capital at a time when the Third Reich was ascendant makes what he did, I think, arguably the most impressive feat in the history of sports. The Nazis weren't stupid. People labor under this misimpression that the African Americans, the 8 of them on the U.S. Olympic track and field team, were winning, that was somehow this incredible insult to the Third Reich. No one was surprised when John Woodruff and Jesse Owens and Ralph Metcalfe and Cornelius Johnson and Dave Albritton and Archie Williams and Jimmy Louval ended up dominating the competition. They had been running times and jumping distances that could have, convinced even a layman of their superiority. That was apparent to everyone.
You're up on a stand, and it's playing the Star-Spangled Banner for all the Americans. Then they had young girls that came over, and the girls presented the medal. It kind of does something to you. We came to New York, and they had a big parade for us, but I can't recall, after winning the Olympics, that it opened any particular doors. Now, I'm sure many of the white Olympians were made offers, very fine offers, but I can't recall any of the black Olympians making any great offers. Now, Jesse did pretty well. He got in public relations work, but he never had any real big jobs, He ran against racehorses. You may have heard of him running against a racehorse. He did a number of things in order to try to make a living for his family. When they came back to the University of Pittsburgh, they had the University Hall of Fame. They made the Hall of Fame, but I didn't make it, in spite of the gold medal that I'd won and bringing to school international recognition. So that let me know just what the situation was. Things hadn't changed.
It's a gradual change. It's not something that has completely changed even now. But I think the importance of the 1936 Olympics is that it was the starting point for a gradual process of bringing African Americans closer to the American mainstream. All the way through the 30s and 40s and 50s and into the 60s, when you always saw these news articles about the first black person to do this or that, it was a source of pride, and it was a source of hope, because there was always going to be the second and the third and the fourth. And those people would have a much easier time because the first had opened the door.
The competition was grand, and we're very glad to come out on top. Thank you very kindly.